Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. Well, Ed, after we had that great time at the zoo, that was Saturday.
Right.
It was good weather, too, by the way.
Right.
And now we're inside, and we're going to go to hear the keynote speaker, and his name is John Petz.
Yeah. Surprise.
Surprise, huh?
Yeah. Anytime you go to these conferences, the keynotes can, set the tone or
right.
Man, I'm going to have to be here for how many days? I'm ready to leave now. But he did a great job. Very exciting. The way that he, because he was a magician.
He was, yeah.
Okay?
Magician, right?
But he was also in business. He was, in high levels of business in the .com boom, and it's the way that he thought of things was great. I mean, he told that story about being on an airline where to shorten this up, basically the captain came out with the entire crew of the plane and introduced themselves to the people that were waiting at the gate to get onto the plane.
When have you seen that?
Yeah, never. But what it did is it made him loyal to that airline, and the fact that this captain, it was not a corporate thing. It wasn't where you have to do it. It was something that he felt that the people who he is flying should know who he is. And so and then the story continues to where, because he's a consultant and does public speaking, he said, what motivated you to do all of this stuff? And it was within him to do it.
Really, yeah.
So
that's amazing.
And I think that's a lot of, what the takeaway was, is that, we have a responsibility to do these things, not always because of us. It's about the people that we affect.
That's right. Yep.
You understand that? I understand that.
Yeah. We do.
Anyway, so what I suggest is go online, go onto YouTube, and just look up John Petz, and that its last name is spelled P-E-T-Z, J-O-N-P-E-T-Z. Very entertaining. And he does have of course, everybody has a book that does these, but he has a couple of books out there. But there's one in particular that is about a visit to a young man who had cancer, and he was really a child and who passed away, and that he donates all of the proceeds from that book to children with cancer. So, hey, pick one up.
Pick one up, yeah.
It's a good thing. You'll enjoy the read. Plus, again, it was just a great story.
Yeah, and he's a great storyteller, too. I mean,
yeah.
He can talk to you about anything, and
yeah,
but he's a great motivator. I mean,
right, and it's circled around back to the whole magic thing, with the child that had cancer. So, but anyway, okay, all right. So, classes.
Yeah.
Overall, we were there for 5 days, and we were nonstop from. It would start at 8 o'clock in the morning and would end at 5. Julio was shaking his head like, I was working. I was tired.
That's right. Still tired.
And that, it's true. And that one right after the other with maybe a half hour to maybe 45-minute break for lunch, and then you're right back at it. Mm-hmm. Overall, your favorite class that you attended, what was it?
Transformational sales.
God bless you, Julio Zamora. Man after my own heart.
I tell you. It's all about the sales. It's all about the customer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how, understanding the customer.
Right.
Why they buy, and, the knowledge that you have of your product is so important.
Yeah.
And connecting that product with the customer.
Providing a solution to the customer's needs.
Right.
And sometimes they don't even realize that they need certain things. And and it's being able to go that extra mile.
Right. And, understanding the customer is a key, because most of the times when they come in, about 2 out of 3 aren't really sure what they want to buy.
Right. And I find many are embarrassed because they think they should know, but that's not true.
No. Especially in our industry, Len. Like when people come in, especially the new millennials coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And them not knowing anything really,
Yeah.
and so we have to educate them as we're being educated ourselves.
Right.
You know,
Right. My favorite was, again, I go back to the horticultural therapy, and I spanned the range, and I guided our staff like where their, like Julio is. I left it open that they could pick anything they want,
yeah, hmm
but where I kind of guided is like, all right, well, Carl, you take nursery landscape. You go ahead, and Becky, I want you to do like annuals and like
pottery, and
say
stuff like
right where street plantings for municipalities
Right.
and combo pots for municipalities and things like that. And I went pretty free range. I sometimes we all sat in the same one, and
Right.
sometimes we were all separate. And one of my favorite was one that I took, and it was the absolute last class of the whole conference, and it was horticultural therapy. And when did my plant become a therapist? And
Awesome.
it talked about, and also,
Uh-huh.
nothing is better when your speaker is enthusiastic and about.
Right.
She was
That's
a
right.
young 20-something
Right.
that worked with handicapped students,
Yeah.
and that and adults, so not just students, where they actually had their own production greenhouse.
Wow.
And it was all hands-on, that they did everything themselves. She's in Maryland. And let me just read a little something. Studies have shown for years that horticulture increases the health and well-being. COVID topic in the news is about how houseplants and working with houseplants reduces stress and all of the other benefits of plants. But as far as horticultural therapy, you don't really hear about it as a type of psychological field where this is.
Sure.
Talked about working with inmates, working with everything from dementia patients, where it increased their ability to, like in the dementia thing, which is close to my heart, where they were talking about how dementia patients, and I've lived this, to where the patient can't remember what happened the day before, and that when they worked with plants and they were doing production of plants where they could remember the next day what they did the day before. And that's special, because anybody who's dealt with Alzheimer's and dementia, it's about your loved one is lost, and that they're not present, and that where having a memory that's current and contemporary is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. So her name was Hannah Beresford, and that she is going to actually, I talked with her about being a guest on the program.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Yeah, so
Good.
at some point you'll hear that name again, and the work that she's doing is pretty amazing, because she has put the two together: her love for plant material and horticulture, and her love for people, and it's she's doing amazing things.
It's amazing what plants will do. I mean, everything is researched through journals, and they know that plants affect people's lives.
Very similar to like owning a pet,
Yeah.
like how your blood pressure goes
Yeah.
down and
That's right.
your well-being improves, and plants are doing the same thing.
It's like medicine, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but they don't pee.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right. You got another one, Julio?
Oh, yeah, let me see. I had another one here.
That I'll tell you.
You know what?
Go
I
ahead.
really like the trends are coming up.
Right.
And, we need to know about trends, because we kind of get a hold of where people's minds are as to what they want.
Right.
It's not just about us. It's about the customer, what they like.
Right. And as a business, we need to meet you where your interest. It's an old expression where whether it's soccer or football, you go where the ball's going to be,
Going to be.
not where the ball is. Like, we have to go with trends where the trend's gonna be, not where they are today.
Right.
And that trying to figure that out. That's a
Right.
challenge.
And sometimes we become the trendsetters, right, Len?
We are. Bloomers, we are the kingmakers.
That's
we
right.
decide the products that
That's right, we do.
often are the winners. And that sounds really arrogant, but it's the
No, it's
truth,
not.
where we sort out all of the new products that are coming out and all the ones that are just junk and get to the heart of something that's actually going to be a benefit to you.
Right.
So it's not like where you're watching QVC and he's like, oh, wouldn't it be great to own that, because somebody's talking it up real good, and then you get it and it's like, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's what separates us from the rest of the crowd.
that's right. That's right.
Hey.
So. All right, we've got to take another break, and we'll be right back in the garden right after this. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Coast of Maine's Organic Castine Blend Organic Raised Bed Mix is the best soil for raised bed gardens, planter boxes, and container gardens. It grows amazing vegetables. It is made with a mixture of manure compost, worm castings, lobster and kelp meal, mycorrhiza, green sand, and biochar. It's ready to use straight out of the bag with no need for additional components or tilling. If you love growing fresh and hearty vegetables, herbs, and flowers, Coast of Maine's Castine Blend Organic Raised Bed Mix is the perfect choice for you. At Coast of Maine, we believe in growing organically and buying locally. Castine Organic Raised Bed Mix can be found at these fine stores:
Haynes Garden Center, Cinnaminson, New Jersey. Burlington Agway, Burlington, New Jersey. Sickles Market, Little River, New Jersey.
Wanting to up your game in the vegetable garden? With 90 years of organic gardening experience, the Espoma Company has you covered. Espoma Organic Garden Tone is not your average garden variety fertilizer. Garden Tone is especially blended for organic vegetable gardens. Its all-natural formula contains Biotone, a blend of organic ingredients that supplies essential nutrients for strong, healthy plants and mouth-watering vegetables. Its slow-release formula provides continuous feeding. The Biotone contained in Garden Tone is a combination of organic ingredients and beneficial microbes to help roots grow deeper and faster for bigger, more bountiful harvests. Garden Tone is simple to use and safe for people, pets, and the planet. No harmful chemicals or synthetic fertilizers are ever added. You can find Garden Tone at fine garden centers. Visit espoma.com to find a retailer near you. Garden Tone from Espoma, a natural in the garden since 1929.